Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This is the information I could retrieve this morning on the 18th of February 2025 regarding the meeting of the Russian and the American delegations in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I have about 5 articles open here. I think 3 from Ukrainian media, 1 from the Russian media, and 1 from the American media. Just to start with, they don't give you many details, obviously. That's one thing. The other thing, this is just a, how should I put it, an initial meeting between these guys. It's not anything that would solve anything, but the fact that they are agreeing to communicate, talk to one another, which is a very, very good step in the relationship between the Russians and the Americans, and we all benefit out of that. I will also provide you with Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, who is going to say some idiotic things regarding the Russian-American new alliance. If you didn't know, Macron thinks that the Americans and the Russians will form an alliance. Well, it's not going to be an alliance, but it's going to be an understanding. This is my sphere of influence. This is your sphere of influence. Let's work together and not stepping on each other's cocks and continue ripping off everybody else. That's what it's going to be. And then again, Macron is going to make another statement regarding the, and listen to this, security guarantees for Ukraine. And Macron, doesn't want the Minsk agreements to be repeated. And I will talk about it because if these guys talk about US's or whomever, the West's guarantees, security guarantees for Ukraine, that's exactly what the Russians wanted in 2021, if you remember, and early 2022 before they had to go in. They wanted legal binding resolutions providing them with security guarantees that NATO will not do this and they said no. So why should the Russians care about the Ukrainians now? So now the Western guys, the Westerns, they say, oh, security guarantees for Ukraine. No, you didn't want to talk to us in 2021 and early 2022. So I guess go back under the rock where you crawled from. All right, let's start with this one. Associated Press. Russia-US talks end, and Kremlin officials say no date has been set for Trump-Putin meeting. So they say that the talks ended, and the Kremlin officials say no date has been set for Trump-Putin meeting. But I think it was Bloomberg, and Bloomberg said that a meeting between the two could take place next week. Early as next week. We got a little thing here. All right. So let's read what's going on over here. Another extra information for you. You see this picture? This is the American delegation. This is the Russian delegation minus a guy right here. But I have a problem with this individual here. And I will tell you why I have a problem with this individual. If you don't know who this guy is, this is the Middle East negotiator, American, on the American side, and he's Jewish. He has something to do here in this all panel of people, and I will tell you what Mr. Clemenceau said, that the then president of France at the Treaty of Versailles after the First World War, and George Clemenceau, when he met Woodrow Wilson, and he saw Woodrow Wilson's, the American president at that time, delegation, he said, who are these people? Because the US delegation of Woodrow Wilson was formed of many of this guy right here. All right. So I will tell you the name of this guy, and his name is, where are you, baby doll? Well, come on, you gotta have it somewhere. Russian pop. Steve Witkoff, right now. So he's the ambassador to the Middle East, Witkoff. All right. Now, all the pictures I have, you're going to see him but he's gonna be in the middle of everything. I suspect this Vitkov will be at one point the United States Secretary of State, like the foreign minister. I suspect that. Just pay attention. He's the one who negotiated so well the release of the American school teacher from Russia. Why? I don't know, but I suspect that teacher Volka, or whatever his name is, Vogel. Mr. Vogel is also one of them. And imagine Putin dealing with these people that he killed them, not yet, but sent them out of his country. So again, pay attention. Why is that guy over there? Is because Blinken is not there anymore, or Victoria Nuland? I have a problem with this, and I'll tell you why. Some people are overrepresented and some people are underrepresented, if we go by that. And if you go by meritocracy, it's too much coincidence. All right, let's go back to this, guys. So Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, talks between Russian and US officials have ended, according to a senior Kremlin official. The Kremlin Foreign Affairs advisor Yuri Ushakov told Russian state TV that no date has been set yet for a meeting between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. So let's see what they did. No Ukrainian officials were present at the meeting, which comes as a beleaguered country in slowly but steadily losing ground against more numerous Russian troops in a grinding war that became nearly pop. Beyond the Ukraine meeting, attended by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, and other senior officials were over there. Okay. Now, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters on Monday that the talks will be primarily focused on restoring the entire range of the US-Russian relations. They have no problem in the Middle East, do they? Or what, Syria? Maybe Iran? What do you think? As well as preparing possible talks on the Ukraine settlement and organizing a meeting of the two presidents. All right. What else is here? Kiev's absence at Tuesday's talks has rankled many Ukrainians. Well, they should know that they were owned before they did what they did. And France called an emergency meeting, which was the losers meeting, the people with the sour grapes syndrome. So this is again Macron here. Peskov on Tuesday said that Putin has repeatedly expressed readiness for peace talks and noted that a comprehensive settlement, a long-term settlement, a viable settlement. Saudi Arabia's role. Okay, they're mediators. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Ahead of the talks. Meanwhile, work continues. Nothing here. Nothing. Next one. This comes again. You have the same picture right there with a big guy in front of everybody else. Again, another one in case you missed it. Ukrainska Pravda. US and Russian delegations begin negotiations in Saudi Arabia. Russian media outlets report. And we have this. They have nothing to tell us that previously. That's it. Next one. Go to the Ukrainians again. US and Russian delegation begins talks in Saudi Arabia. All the time this guy is over there. Now, if you think that this is just a coincidence, I'm just gonna give you this. Russian. That's it with these guys, just pictures. Nothing extraordinary. Talks between the US delegation and representatives of Russia began in Riyadh. And we're gonna go to a Russian outlet where they're gonna give us live updates on that. Again, the same kind of picture. They all feature the same official pictures, I'm guessing. Somehow the position is here is always cut. Probably only these guys were over there. But nevertheless, this must be there. Again, Shmihal Lavrov stated the negotiations would be focused on ending the abnormal period in relations between the two great powers. And what do they want? They want what they said again. You see, it's the same thing. They want the same thing as they said before. Denazification of Ukraine, according to the Russians, demilitarization of Ukraine, no NATO, and the recognition of the realities and the front line in the field right there, which is we took control of this lands and we ain't gonna give anything back. Moreover, I think the Russians want more than they already have. Russia Today. Russia and US hold talks in Saudi Arabia. Live updates. Moscow and Washington seek to restore bilateral ties and pave the way for settlement of the Ukraine conflict. Again, the same picture. These guys are looking somewhere here. This guy is looking exactly where he needs to look. All right. Neither Ukraine nor the EU is attending the meeting. Well, why don't we put things the way they really are? These guys are owned and they were maneuvered by the guys who are sitting right here in all this, and the European Union was used as an old whore. You do it, but you don't pay. Now, 18th of February 2025, Ushakov has stated that Russia-US talks were not bad, adding that the sides had agreed to take account of each other's interests. It is hard to say yet whether the Russian or the US position are getting closer, but we have talked about it. That's good. Right there, you see that? Not bad. And they are talking, agree to take into account each other's interest. That means we're going to do what we did before, which is our spheres of influence. Remember, people say, well, how come these guys talk to Putin and talk to the Russians? You talk to Stalin. Not at least three times. Let's put it 4 times if you really want to go with the Potsdam. What they went over there, they talked to Stalin. Now you can't compare Putin and Stalin, however you want to turn it and twist it. I mean, you rather can compare Stalin and Truman. He drops 2 atomic bombs on 2 civilian cities. I mean, something that Stalin could only dream of, and he never did it. He didn't have the chance at that point. But I'm just saying, if you go to a mass murderer in 2 seconds, you got that president. Where is he at? Oh, he's revered. By whom exactly? So again, you don't talk to, they say, well, we're not going to talk to Putin. You talk to Brezhnev. You talk to Andropov. You talk to, what's his name, Khrushchev. You talk to Stalin. You talk to Lenin. You talk to, what's his name, the Mikhail Gorbachev. And I missed one. Brezhnev, Andropov, and I can't remember always the other guy. Nevertheless, let's move on. So what these guys are saying. Russian media has released a short clip showing members of the Russian delegations. The Russian-US delegations have had a various serious discussion on all issues, according to Ushakov. The ongoing Russia-US talks could pave the way for a Trump-Putin meeting in Saudi Arabia as soon as next week, Bloomberg has reported, without providing further details. So as soon as, nothing else here. This is another picture. Look at Lavrov right here. Look at him with his hands in the pants, and that's it. See, there were 3 Russians over there. 1, 2, 3. I made a video regarding this. This guy tries to introduce himself as well over there. So back the fuck off. Anyway, and Rubio talks to all 3 of them. These guys are like, what are you talking about? Nevertheless, excellent that they talk to one another. Oh, he's blocked over there. Rubio, you're in trouble. You blocked the main guy over there. Look at this guy. This is the ones I'm looking for. That guy over there. This guy over here. These are good people. And look at these guys. That's what the atomic bomb, the nuclear button over there. What is there? Very interesting. You see that? But anyway, he needed some documents. This guy got some documents over there too. Let's put it that way. So, my friends, this is with the big meeting between the 2. Fantastic. Good that they met. And at least they showed who's who and what's what. Ukraine, just stay over there. We're going to let you know what we decided with that land and those people. And regarding the European Union, just stay over there and buy our weapons and buy our electricity, energy, which is coal, gas, oil, and you'll be good, man. We will never blackmail you like we said the Russians would. But hey, we didn't take you with us to negotiate, because why? We're allies. Okay, my friends, let's see what this baboon says about this beautiful meeting, which is Macron, the president of France still. Ukrainska Pravda. France worried about possible alliance between Trump and Putin, not United States of America and Russia. No, Trump and Putin. Media reports. Right there. Okay. Oh, I'll be with you, baby doll. French Prime Minister François Bayrou sees parallels between current events and the 1930s and is alarmed. And 1945s, I see a lot of them. Why is he not? Is he so baboonish he doesn't remember history? In 1945, The good people of the free world left Eastern Europe to the criminal Stalin and the criminal communists who were owned by people like the guy is going to be the US Secretary of State. Remember Kaganovich, Yogoda, and people like him. Trotsky was gone by then. But just remember those people. They were riding high in Soviet Union in those times. So, but this guy avoids that. Why? Stalin was called Uncle Joe by Mr. Roosevelt. Remember Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the fourth-time U.S. president-elect in the U.S. Then they amended the Constitution saying, this guy is a communist, so we're going to make it too from now on. Until then, it was an understanding. They respected George Washington's example of after 2 terms, he said, it's good enough. I'm going to go and take care of my life. So they did it until the communist came, which was Delano Roosevelt. You don't like that? I don't care. Read history. He loved Stalin. By the way, Stalin's name is Djugashvili. Okay, so he was a Georgian, not a Russian. All right, including Trotsky. Trotsky was Bronstein, Russian. Okay, nevertheless, let me start. François Bayou sees parallels between current events and 1930s. No, I see them in between 1940s when you, the big country of France, were decimated. No, you weren't. Okay, VC government and the guys in exile with, what's his name, de Gaulle. Anyway, all right, you sold us to them. So, yeah, why don't we go to 40s? Because it was okay at that time. But now, no. All right. Is alarming by signs of an alliance between the US president and the Kremlin leader. He sees you know what they see? They see the alliance between the Soviet Union and the Wehrmacht. Or anyway, the Germans, the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact. That's what they see. They focus on that one. But they have an understanding with the Germans as well. You remember the Munich conference? It was the Brits over there, the French were over there. So we're all good with Adolf. No. The problem was after the war. All right, so let's see. In my opinion, current events evoke parallels with the treaties of the last century. And for the first time since 1945, war can come to Europe, to us. No, you see, another lie. This guy's lying right here. This guy's lying by Lou. Why? Because there was a war in Europe until 1945. It was the bombardment of Yugoslavia by the defensive alliance called NATO. Remember the 1999? For 74 days, I think it was, they bombarded a European country, the alliance. Okay, so they're lying by omission. See how they do it? Yeah, that's what they do. And they say here, France is worried. And then we go here, Macron, he's going to say something so imbecilic again. Macron, without security guarantees for Ukraine, new deals could repeat fate of Minsk agreements. It's true. Do you remember who were the guarantors of the Minsk agreements? It was you. It was France. You, when you became president, the Minsk agreements were still in effect and still are, because Minsk Agreement 2 in 2015, the first one is 2014, became international law. It was signed, it was sent to the United Nations, and you did not know anything to implement that, to have your buddies, Ukrainians, implement that. Why? You were getting ready for what happened in 2022, in 24th of February. My friends, and he says, well, for security guarantees. No security guarantees. Remember Macron, you were in place. You were in place when the Russians in 2021, October, November, December, and January 2022, and February 2022, tried to discuss to you, sent you a memo. They want to discuss security guarantees for Russian Federation. And what did you say? What is that? Nothing. So, off, Mr. Macron. First, you didn't implement the Minsk agreements, you as a country, and you were the president in 2020, if I remember correctly, 2021, so you could have implemented, you didn't. And now you talk about guarantees? No, baby doll. You didn't provide Russia with security guarantees. Only now, after he kicked your butt, now you come and say, let's talk about it? Too late. The ship has sailed. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I will keep you posted with any developments on this as soon as they start talking about this. I think it was just a general conversation between the two delegations. It was nothing deep. It was just, this is what we want in general. The other guys, yeah, we can discuss. We need to meet some more. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.